soon as I started the stream, I realized there was something I had to do before I did the stream. So I apologize, everyone. I'm back. How are we doing? Give me a second. I also remembered to turn on captions. Alright, so we are. Where's my mic? Oh, hello. I have just been informed a retro-style fishing mystery game was announced today for PS5 and PC. Well, but alright, let's get started. It's been a couple of weeks. I was hoping to stream last week because I was off, but last week was not great for streaming, so we didn't. I just had literally everything happen and had no energy to be able to stream. So what we're going to be doing today is we are going to go get started just with some fishing on Sophia, and then after we do Stephacanthus specifically is what we're going to go for. I am going to adjust my volume here. Yeah, I can turn it down a little bit. We're going to do Stephacanthus. Go for that. Then we're going to jump back to Crystal. We're going to go ocean fishing on the Ruby route, which is why I'm going to eat up a good chunk of the wait time. And then we're going to go and do more fishing, probably on my other ults. It's gonna be a chill night. How much time do I have for this? I think 6 minutes, 5 minutes, 4 minutes. Sure, we'll just get started with. We'll open with patience too. I want to try and get some Angler's Art stacks, at least 5, and if I can get all of those with rock salt fish, that'd be great. But the way that this is timed, even if we get intuition at like the very last second, we still have plenty of time to go for the full intuition on Stephacanthus, and still make it back to Crystal for ocean fishing. So that's what we're doing. But we'll knock those ads out really quick, and then we'll get started on the ocean fishing. Is the main show tonight. What is this? I'm looking at this game here. We're also on Sophia, so the lag's going to be a little slow. Hey, Foam Finger. Hello, Foam Finger. I cannot speak today. I have had a hell of a past 2 weeks. Stephacanthus is... There's two people. There are people like me who are like, Stephacanthus is a pain in the ass. But it is also probably one of the best designed fish in the game. Like it is a very well designed fish for even now with the new skills. For like testing you on how well you know your skills and how to use them, because it's all GP management. And then there's people who just hate Syphicanthus because of that, and that's also extremely valid. We got no rock salt fish out of that. That kind of stinks. Let's see. I'm reading while we're building up Angler's Art stacks here. We got like 3 minutes until the stack window opens. 2 minutes? Should be under 3 minutes. 1 minute. Yes, okay, that's correct. I'm reading about this game here that I'll post the link to in both chats here on Jamatsu. Looks kind of interesting, but I haven't heard of this developer before. I think they might be new. Their name is the Water Museum, which I guess is technically just a aquarium. Each catch feels distinct, its own pattern and behavior is waiting to be learned. Good. Fishing for clues. We are playing this. I'll add that to my Steam list right now. Oh, that's the trailer playing. Sorry. There's a playtest. I'm not going to join it. I actually don't want to ruin myself for this one. I'll have to add it. Get into my Steam here really quick and add that to my wish list. It's called About Fishing. There we go. Wish list. I'm trying to collect fishing games because one of the things I want to do probably sometime, well, I was hoping to do it before the end of the year, but realistically I don't know if that'll happen. I want to do a charity stream to support a marine organization. I'm currently looking at either Aquarium of the Pacific, which is where the FanFest meetup is going to be, Monterey Bay, which is north of the Aquarium of the Pacific, another California-based aquarium, and very good. Or one of the smaller ones that just moved into the Caribbean that deals with corals. So I'm trying to decide which one I want to support, and if this one goes well, I just might rotate, do like 1 or 2 of these a year, and just do a different charity each year. Alright, so we're in the Steth window, or sorry, the Sculptor window. We're not in the Steth window yet, that's at 1600. We have 10 minutes. And now comes the fun part of just mooching and hoping we get Sculptors. I should probably try to collect as well. That could have been an early Sculptor, but unlikely, so I'm just gonna let it go. So today's Thursday, tomorrow's the live letter. That's at what? 7 a.m. Eastern, 4 a.m. Pacific, I think. No, that's still a little bit too early. That was suspiciously on point. But who knows? But for those of you who are just joining, hi, hello, welcome. We're going to be fishing tonight. Is that a surprise? But We're going to do Stethacanthus here because this is just one of the fish that I'm trying to get on this ult. Right after this, before the... That's definitely Pearl Eyes. There we go. Right after this, even if we get Intuition, we'll be able to stick around and go for it, but we're going to swap back to Crystal, and then we're going to get on my main, who is parked right next to the ocean fishing boat, and we're going to go on the Ruby route. I don't even know which one it is. We're just going to try and get a high score. What is it? Oh, it's Taniwa. That's fun. Shellfish Taniwa. I have, over the past... That's... could be it. Thank you, Gmail, for telling me that I am live. Over the past... Let me see here. Nope. Oh, that wasn't a mooch. I goobered that one because I wasn't paying attention because I'm talking. Yeah. So Taniwa shellfish. I've been keeping track of my high scores on these routes now, and I'm bringing back what I was tracking on the Ruby route. And I'm trying to get above 20k on the Ruby route on all of them. Hello, Squealy May. Over on YouTube. Nerds, until I got my new phone, and this is because I haven't put it on yet, because I lost the file, I had the Ferocious Bite, that triple exclamation point, as a sound bite, and that was my text notification on my phone. Whenever someone would text me, it would just be like, brrr. So I always was alerted to that. It was great. That took me a while to get, but it was nothing compared to the pain I felt during Ruby Dragon. Ruby, yeah. Typically when people... that is not uncommon to hear. A lot of people are like, it's either Ruby or Steph. Both of those are very mentally taxing fish. Sometimes they are the last fish for some people as well, much like you were saying. When it comes down to last fish, it usually is like, it's Ruby, it's Steph. Steph not as much. Cinder, Alid. It's basically who you would expect. Those are typically the fish that are going to be the last ones that people actually get. I still stand by my hot take. Well, not really hot take. My suggestion is leave yourself with like 2 or 3 really boring easy fish. It won't be as exciting when you finally get your big fish title, but it is mentally so much nicer knowing that your final hurdle to the goal isn't like Ruby or Cinder or something. It's those easy fish, and then you can just get them whenever you want. You can just be like, okay, I'm now going to get those 3 during my lunch break, and you can control when you get your title, and that's a big feeling. So I'm looking for Ferocious Bites after 23 seconds. If anyone's curious as to why I have rested a few of these, Sculptors, sorry, won't bite before that. Now let me see here how much. Okay, yeah, we can do it this way. Enough GP. I had to do some quick math there to see if I could use Prize Catch or if I had to wait. But I can. I can use Prize Catch, and then I'll be able to mooch that. Ooh, but then I'll be out of GP again. I have to somehow figure that out then. I got 4 minutes left in the sculptor window. This guy isn't optimized like my usual. My main build is gathering to like my current melt is gathering to what we suspect is going to be the legendary level, and I can tell you what that is when I get back on my main. And then minimal perception just to kind of flesh everything out, and then just maximum GP. I am a huge supporter of high GP fishing builds because it just gives you way more juice to play with. So highly recommend that. My last 3 were Hypha, Ruby, and Cinder. Yeah, those are... Hyphlosaurus isn't as bad. I wouldn't put Hyphlosaurus in the same category as Ruby and Cinder, but it is also a notable legendary. Also a record size for rivers. Okay, so minute left. That'll put me around 800. I think I have enough that I can just go ahead and mooch. Let's see what we get here. Let's see what the bite is. Okay, cool. Thank you for saving me 400 GP. So what we can do is we can just go out and I'll just use mooch 2 on this next one. Mainly because I want to keep mooch cool on cooldown. This is a thing that, and I really do need to teach this better in some cases, is about GP management, because there's a lot of little things and sometimes it's very specific to the fish, sometimes it's not. But if you are a raider, you can pretty much pick up the GP management relatively easily. If you think of any skill that has a cooldown as something that you need to consistently be using, so like if you are doing a lot of mooching, mooch 2 should always be on cooldown. Like you should always be pushing for that to be on cooldown. With your high cordial, you want to make sure that you are always making sure that this is being on cooldown. So like as soon as this catch is done, I am going to use my high cordial like that, and then make shift bait. You never want to cap out your Angler's Art stacks. Like you never want to be in a situation where you catch a fish and you're already at 10. You want to make sure that you're using it on something, even if it's using it on like prize catch and then Thalia's Favor. You want to be burning through that, and you never really want your GP to be sitting at max like I am right now, because I'm going to mooch this, and then I'm going to use double hook. So it's like, you want to make sure that you are never capped out on your resources. And if you're a raider, that should sound really familiar. At least when I was raiding, that's what it sounded familiar to. That's what I had to follow. Where did my water bottle go? Oops. I'm going to burn that because I do need to burn that GP. Ruby took me over 40 windows, so I feel I can handle anything. Yes. I think if you have a bad experience with Ruby, you pretty much can take on anything. I think same thing. Cinder is kind of similar. Sidereal Whale is starting to move up into that position as well. But if you went 40 windows without a Ruby bite, that's pretty rough. I went 20, I think, on my EU ult. Okay. I have this mooch. I'm going to... Okay. Bear with me for a second, because I'm going to... We're going to wait a minute, and I'm going to use this one last mooch, because we have time. The next... the boat doesn't close for another 8 minutes. But I'm going to fish eyes this, but I need my cordial So what's going to happen is I'm going to use fish eyes, and then I'm going to use my cordial, and then I'm going to mooch this rock saltfish, and then we'll see if we get something, because that'll give me enough for 400 for the double look. But I think, yeah, I said my EU alt went 20 windows and it had 3 ruby slips. And I was trying to re-record a guide at the same time. So it was just like I was pulling my hair out whenever I had like a clean run. It was a clean window. It was great for recording. And I get the bite. I'm like, yes, I'm done. And then it slips. I almost made a video about it slipping. All right, this is the last mooch. See, Cinder and Ruby are really tempting to take. Yeah, Cinder and Ruby are definitely ones that a lot of people will take pauses on. Cinder's design, I think part of the reason why people hate Cinder is because it's not interesting. It is just a task. You just show up for, 6 minutes during the end. Now, what's going to be really annoying is if this is Sculptors. Because there's a very good chance it could have done with that bite time. But it's not. Okay. Cool. Alright, let's head back to Crystal. I'm going to grab my water bottle because I forgot to do that. And then we're going to go catch the Ruby Boat for Shellfish and Taniwha. So I'm just going to swap over. Don't select Dynamis. Over in the other chat, I heard Ruby is easier now with Spareful Hand. I don't think Ruby is any easier. I think it is quicker, might be the best way to put it. Because now you can, at most, guarantee yourself 4 starts into the mooch loop, which is 4 more mooches at minimum, so you've raised the floor amount of times that you could get it per window, but I don't think it's become any easier. One of the big conversations that keep coming up in the fish cord is with 8.0 skills, there's some desire for post mooch, like post mooch influence, because right now if you just mooch something you don't really get to do anything, compared to, I mean, with Spareful Hand technically you can use chum and prize catch, and there's some fun interactions with Spareful Hand, but I think a lot of people are I don't think, I guess to answer your question directly, I don't think Ruby Dragon is easier. I think it is just quicker. And I think that there's a lot of things that could be done to make Ruby Dragon easier. That isn't a mooch surface slap. I was talking about this in this fish cord the other day. A mooch surface slap, probably not the answer you want. Just give me 1 second here. I'm going to grab my water bottle. Okay. See, getting caught up. I have 2 chats open right now, so give me a second here. I think, so we put a lot of emphasis on, and Natalie, this is what you were saying about being under-prepped. We put a lot of emphasis on prepping for Windows, and I think some people like overdo it. Not saying it's you specifically, but Ruby Dragon is something where it has evolved over time with these new skills, like Sparefall Hand, where the prep isn't as... It's very hard to be under-prepped, I think is probably what I should say. Because if you just show up at midnight for cures, congratulations, you're basically just doing it like when it was level 70, like when it came out. And that's fine. It's designed to not have Angler's Art stacks. It's not designed to have Surface Slap. If you show up enough just to get a Surface Slap out, cool. You're doing it as if it was in Shadowbringers. Like, I think Ruby is one of those fish among many where even if you are under-prepped, you're still probably fine. Oh, Foam Finger, not the 3 slip. I've heard a lot of people have that, where they'll be like, I got like 3 slips, and then it didn't bite for 20 more windows, which takes 6 years. That's not... I've heard that happen a bit. Watch that be the level 100 ability? Well, we're already level 100. They've hinted that the combat jobs aren't going to be going up in a level. I'm going to assume that the crafters and gatherers won't as well. I don't know. I've been thinking about what I want to see for Fisher in 8.0, and I've been thinking about doing a video on it, but I also don't want to be that guy who makes a thing of, boy, I wish I saw this in Final Fantasy XIV. Because there's a ton of that, and I think I have a way that I would do it. I just don't want to do it, if that makes sense. I don't know. Calorin, thank you. One of the things, though, that I would love to see is if they just don't add any new skills, but instead bring back the concept of stances. Or, like, persistent buffs. Things that we can change that are, like... it'd be like bard songs, I think, would be the way, but instead of them being a skill that you activate, because we already have enough skills, this is 3 hot bars and I don't even have all the Fisher skills on it. What I would love to see is this soul gem, the soul crystal slot, get reused for Fisher, because they use it for crafters, for specialists. Give us like a totem or like some buff, and it's like, while equipped, you don't gain GP, but all your fish bite twice as much, or twice as fast, or something like that. I think that could be make for some really interesting things, and I could see where it'd be like 20%, like 50% chance you catch double the amount of fish. That could be interesting. That could and it'd have an affect big fish. That could change a lot of metas, I would say. I don't want to say metas, strategies. And so having it be designed where it's like, you know, maybe to go what you were saying, like an upgraded lure ability, maybe one of those is, while equipped, weak biting fish are more likely to bite from the outgo, and then you can just add on to that with the lures. Like that's what I would like to see. Is I don't want to see vertical progression on Fisher. I want to see these horizontal skills now that are just absolutely weird. I want Foe's Requiem for fishing. Alright, where are we at here? Siren Song, which means it's plum form. Do I have enough? I need rags. So I need to eat. Some Massey. So I think the actual proper opening for Ruby Roots is PC into a double or triple hook, but I don't. I use Patience. So, Natalie, I'm going to ask you this. Why do you want an updated spearfishing gig? Like, what would that look like? What are you thinking? Because a lot of people say different things for that, and I'm curious as to what it is, like why what you think about why we need another spearfishing gig. Okay, I can probably guess what the silly reason is. Yep. Okay. So that was exactly the silly reason, and that is usually where people stop when they're like, "I want a new spearfishing gig because I want all my numbers to be the same." I'm like, "We need a better reason than that, guys." But the other less so one. Yeah. Yeah. So the other idea I had was instead of it being on the Soul Crystal, which probably wouldn't make sense, you would get a new gig, maybe a Trident, like Phone was saying, that has like a slottable thing in it that would control what that is, like a special materia. I think could work. Because like we have, oh, I'm not even wearing it, I should be. The, what do you mean nothing bites? Oh, I probably moved. Because we have the Cosmic and like all these guys here. Where's my Cosmic Rod? My armory chest is absolutely a nightmare. There it is. Like we have the Stellar Fishing Rod, and the last rod had that special, you know, that special ability where it's like you have a chance to reduce it. I want to see that slottable, and I want to have more of this. This is cool. This was a cool idea. I want to see it more. Maybe they could add different spears to enhance skills related to spearfishing. I think there's a ton, to go back to what you were saying, Natalie, I think spearfishing has a ton of potential. I'm a little surprised they didn't do anything with the Dawn Trail, but I'm wondering if it's going to end up being like, what's the word I want to use? I gotta focus on this. Because this is Vivid Pink Shrimp? No, it should be... No, oh, it's Taniwha. Okay. So hold on, I need to swap over to one here. And I need to look for the only 2-bite. Only strong bite in the spec. Let's see if we can get this quick. Thank you. And so, like I was talking about capping your Angler's Arts earlier, there was no way that I was going to get around that, but I did. It was only by 1. Yeah, I think swappable something. Like traits, I don't know. I mean, they're hinting that they're going to redo the entire system. And so I'm interested to see what that's going to look like and how it could affect Fisher. Okay, and now we're just going to go back to normal fishing here. If I get the Sunken Sea... Oh, wait, no, I don't have mackerel. I don't bring those with me. Whoops. I would love a 60% chum rod. I think that would be cool. Like, I think, like, you have, like, a rod specifically that, you know, your bites are 50% more likely to, or your bites are going to be 50% quicker, but you don't gain GP, or they're, like, twice as likely to slip. Like, something, there needs to be a positive and then a negative. With like the lures, the positive is you start gaining the ooh, I'm gonna kill that for a second. The positive is you gain, yes, I'll burn that because I need the ferocious bites. With the lures, the positive is you gain you know, more likelihood to get the fish, like the types of fish that you are looking for, but you lose out on the other ones. So you have to make a decision on, is it worth it to use that skill? Which is interesting. They could also do something like that with the spear, yeah, where it scales like the earrings. I think Blue Mage does that too with the cane. The other thing they could do, which is easy, is they just count eye level like Paladin, where the sword counts twice. Yes, I believe so. I think with Paladin the shield doesn't count at all. But I don't know. I'm not confident enough to say, haha, I'm right. But I'm confident enough to say it on stream and not feel bad if someone corrects me. Skill bonuses at certain level breakpoints would be interesting. Tie it more to the gear. I think that would be fun. I think going back again, Natalie, to what you were saying with spearfishing, one of the things that we've always, I say we, like some of the really active North American, European fishers, is we really want to see big spearfish, because there's some interesting things you could do with big spearfishing without adding new mechanics. We have weather restricted spearfish, so like that's not new. We could do weather restricted spearfish. That should be okay. Scientifically, that makes sense. So like, even if they're like, oh, that's not real because there's no weather under the sea, like, yeah, no, that would work. Oh, tested it. Removing the shield on the Paladin reduced eye level. I have been lied to, and I am sorry. I am sorry for spreading misinformation. All right, Kugane. All right, we're going for Krill, which is what? Is it? Hold on, is it Krill? It is Krill. Cool, I remembered. But like, yeah, big spearfishing, like they could add a bunch of stuff. I'm not saying like they need to add it to everything. I don't even think we need legendary big spearfish because that would be wild. But like some of the best, like if you asked me to rate like the top 5 best spearfishing fish, I'm gonna put Lenosiosaur, or Nosiosaur, sorry, and Tebkimek. I can't even say it out loud. I used to. Tebiek, smelt over in Thavnair, as like some of the most interesting fish that they've designed. Because Tebiek, I can't even pronounce that right. I'm gonna try. It's fun. I think they also have a lot to do because they have swimming shadows there too, which we don't have a similar mechanic in overworld fishing. This is not going to go great for me. Alright, so I mentioned this in a video a week or two ago. The fun thing about the Ruby route is if you're scoring points, you're not going to look for like a super high, like you're not going to be getting 40k points on the Ruby route probably, at least reliably, but you can get the points that you need for the Mogtomes pretty easy, and it's easy to target the fish. I'm gonna, like right now, specifically look for spearhead squid, because they're easily isolatable. I also really need these squids here. That's it. I need to beat, on this route, 16k. Now, I probably did cap my Angler's Art stacks there. I'm trying to get better at that. I think it would be cool to have a zone-wide based intuition I think it would be interesting if they did something like a spectral current for the overworld. There's a lot of issues with that idea, though, just from a mechanic standpoint. Like, how much is it going to affect things? So the next triple bite I get, I'm just gonna look at, because I need those two. And then we're gonna swap over for whirlpools. It's not great, but I need the triples, and that was what bit me last time. Was not getting the ferocious bites. Okay, then we'll just stay on Ragworm. See if we can clean up on the... So we'll see if we can get Prawn, because if we get Prawn, we can mooch those into Silent Sharks and work on Ferocious Bites. Yeah, that's incredibly fair. I think... Oh, ugh, slip. 3D movement is usually weird, especially when it's not like if you're not expecting it. It's just moving around like underwater or in space. They never seem to get the physics of it right, so it always feels weird. So that makes total sense. I do think the new spearfishing that they introduced in Endwalker was good, but Natalie, to your point, I would like them to see. I'd like for them to do more. Give us big spearfish. Make electric current useful. I think part of the issue with spearfishing's change too is the skills. The skills are I think. Yeah, so that's the other thing too. Mr. Mayoyama. I had to make sure I pronounced that right before I said it out loud. That's the one thing too, is like one of the biggest pieces of criticism that you hear about fishing is these fish aren't up when I'm available to play. So if you're really only able to play for like an hour or two a day and that fish doesn't show up, you don't really feel like engaging with fishing. Now, Fish Eyes has kind of come around to help make that better, but it hasn't necessarily... It's not clear. Like, if you look at the skill, it doesn't tell you it doesn't tell you that it doesn't affect legendary fish. It doesn't tell you that it only works on fish from a Realm Reborn to Shadowbringers. And into Shadowbringers, I should say. Shadowbringers is included. It doesn't tell you like how it works, so it's really weird. And I think if players who usually have like a shorter time frame to play aren't going to engage in the community as much, because that's just more time they have to devote that they could just be doing playing. So with raiding, it's a whole lot easier because it's right there in game. You can do the PF and look it up. It's all there. Cool, great. With fishing, you have to go find a resource like my channel or the Fish Court or something, and then it's just like, what's going on? Yeah, and if a fish just doesn't want to be bit, it's just not going to show up. The one thing though that I will say about timing is 14 is now a continuingly global game, because Korea and China in 7.4 are now going to get on, like, December 16th, they are launching in, they're not just launching in 3, they're launching in 5 regions now, which is big. That is incredibly challenging, and I don't know if at least the North American community understands how big of a deal that is to be able to launch, let alone maintain a game in, oh God, how many, 6 languages now? That's a ton of work. That's a ton of money. That's a ton of infrastructure, especially with how Square Enix handles their servers. They own their own. That's a lot. And so because the game has been growing globally, I think folks do need to remember that if it doesn't work for you, it's going to work for somebody in Japan. So like, oh, Ruby Dragon's when I'm asleep on a Saturday. Okay, well, someone in Japan or Asia or Australia, New Zealand, they're going to be able to catch it. But if it's like perfect for you, it might not be for them. So it's like we have to make this trade-off. Yeah. Yeah, that's... I won't go into that too deep because that's not what I want to do today, but there's definitely a lot. I think that certain parts of the English-speaking community could improve on their understanding of the world. Alright, so what are we looking for here? I need a Spectral Current. Because I am sitting... I should probably have used Prize Catch. Thank you. Alright, so I don't want the instant bites. I want the slightly not instant 1 bites. Oh, I should probably... Oh, I wonder if I should be on... Alright, we're gonna go risky here. That should give me... That should have been 4... Oh, the Gobies were late! So I'm switching to Plump because I want to try and get a Gakyugo, which is a Ferocious Bite, because if I can get that, I can double hook it and finish that mission. But it only bites on Plump. No, hold on, I'm gonna go for Ragworm. Because if I can grab that, then I can switch to Plump, and these guys will bite way more often. Like that, okay. That was a lot of points too, holy crap. Sweet. Alright, cool. Don't slip, don't slip. Sweet. Okay, we can carry on with things now. Yeah, we'll do this. Back to Ragworm. Yeah, that was extremely lucky. This is probably a 19... Oh, I didn't trigger spec. So it's probably 90%. I think I need to break 10k somehow. I don't know if I can, unless this goes out until I can get 400. Or I can just somehow get 2 more. Yeah, okay. That's fine. See, Right, let me get caught up on chat because I wanted to focus on that. Just big fish longer than otherwise it would have because I wouldn't come. Yeah, I always recommend don't compromise sleep for fish. Fish will always come back. I will stay up late because I usually go to bed early. Because I'm an old man. But I will sometimes stay up until like 11 p.m. and to go for fish if I need it for a recording. If it's for an alt, I don't care. I'm just gonna go back. But if it's like brand new legendary fish, and I gotta get a guide out for it because it's like the last window for 3 or 4 days, then I'm going to stay up for it. I did that with Sidereal Whale back in the day. If I can get up early, I will. I'm usually an early riser. I usually am up before 6 a.m. So if the fish is up at like 5:30, I'll get up at 5. I'll go for it, especially if I need to get a recording for it for a guide. Like, that's the only time that I will do anything with my sleep. Hold on 1 second, Mayo Yama. Let me finish this other chat here. But that's a good question. I want to talk about that. We have a minute left. Why don't we go for Fishy Shark? Why not? We'll throw these in here too, just for the hell of it. Could be Sturgeon, but whatever. 14. No, that's definitely a Sturgeon. Which is fine, because that should give us enough to cast out one more time. Maybe? Yes. But that probably won't work. Because it's going to take at most 28 seconds. I would need a 17-second Fishy Shark in order to actually reel it in. That's fine. See, I always manage the route, see what points are good. That's good. Teodo Teun has some good guides on that too, if anyone's ever looking for that on, go to Teamcraft Guides under the fishing section. Teodo Teun's got a bunch of stuff. Super antsy about blind double hooking, triple hooking. It's a skill that you need to get confident in. Like, that's a thing that you learn, and you just gain confidence in doing it. I have screwed it up so many times. And it'll hurt. Like, I did it earlier in the run, I think. But, yeah, you'll eventually get used to it. You're choosing not to compromise your sleep. You're engaging with the fishing in a... Yes, not compromising your sleep is how you engage with fishing in a healthy manner. Is there anything they haven't done in cosmic exploration fishing that you would like to see implemented and or experimented with? So close. Oh, that was good. All right, so that's a new record. Let me write that down before I forget. Okay, that's also tense music. 19510. Just confirming that was. Yeah, Taniwha Shellfish. Okay. Cool. That means I only have one route that I haven't hit 16k on, which is Taniwha Squid, and I got 15,836. I'm just trying to hit 20k plus on all of them, so. Okay, so Cosmic Exploration. Is there anything they haven't done in Cosmic Exploration? It's a good question. Ooh, I would have liked for them to do more with Stellar Hookset. I think they did pretty good with it in Sinus Ardorum, but they kind of dropped the ball with it in Fana. I think there was, I can't think of a mission where I was like, I should say, I can think of one mission where I was like, I have to use Stellar Hookset, otherwise, it's I don't. I think it would be cool to have more multi-intuition triggering fish. I don't think they did a lot with that so far, and I think I'd like to see more of that. Shorter intuition fish, I think, would be fun. One of the things that I'm hoping we see with the back half big fish and or legendary fish is a short intuition that is a mooch. So think Snowy Paraxis with its 35-second intuition, but you can only catch it off of a mooch. I think that would just be kind of interesting to do in the overworld on a long window compared to, say, what you would get in ocean fishing with like Coral Manta or Placotis. Even though it would be the same thing, it would be a whole lot different. Spearfishing and Cosmic Exploration, I don't know. I think it would be cool if they did. I don't think we're going to get it in the next one, because the next one looks like it'll have sky fishing probably, because it's a whole lot of like stuff floating around in the sky. It looks like it's almost a gas giant type planet. I don't know, that one, I'm excited to see that tomorrow. But it's Martin. I thought you looked familiar from over there. I was like, this person's just staring at me. Are they waiting for me? It's Martin Freepaw, everyone. Hello, Zin. Here, Martin, you can have a squid strip, you can have a turtle, and you can have a salmon. And I get a flower. Oh wait, hold on, you can also have a fruity snack. A raisins. Is it PvP time? I should do PvP, but I think I'm almost maxed out on my thing, so I'm not really too pressed for it. Oh wait, you give me those too. Anyways, what was I talking about? First off, it was good seeing you, Martin. Have fun in PvP. Spearfishing and Cosmic Exploration, I think would be interesting. I was kind of hoping that we would see it, because it would just make sense in some cases. I think some of these missions would be really interesting with spearfishing. But if we don't see it, I wouldn't be too surprised. I think there's a ton of, like, going back to doing more with spearfishing, I think that there's a ton that they could do with spearfishing in Cosmic. So I'm hoping we might see it. Do I have anything to put away? No, I need to sell these fish, that's what I need to do. Yeah, Wordnate, that's what I was saying earlier, where I think it would be interesting if you have fishes, like an intuition fish that has A and B intuition trigger, and then it's mooch off of fish C. So you have to, in this long window, catch enough of fish C to last the intuition, and also maximize catching A and B. I think it would be really, really fun if they made it so like you had to optimize like what they're doing with Cosmic and the diversity missions. I think that would be interesting to apply to an intuition fish in the overworld. No. No, wait, give me that. I'll hold on to these guys until, I know, probably another patch or two, and then get rid of them, because I'm out of space. I'm kind of hoping Sprouting Perch becomes an aquarium fish. I think it would be really pretty. And you could put it in with bluegill. It's a color we don't have for aquariums, and I think that would just be really fun. Okay, what's up? What is going up with fish here? Well, we just missed sea butterfly, and we're gonna miss Rondell. So that's a bit of a pain. What is... I was about to ask what my weekly Mog Palm is. I'm like, I know what it is. It's Duskgoby. So we'll do that for sure, because that's up in 30 minutes. Okay, let's just go grab an alt, and we're gonna go alt fishing. Oh, I'll just push the right button on my stream deck here. Alright, so let's go to another track, because that organ is... No, it's Dancing Mad, but... Still holding out for a lot of DT fish to be tankable? Yes, me too. I want all of Lake Teori. Libre Fatali? Let's find out. Oh, the opening song to Final Fantasy VIII. Sure. I've never heard this, so... I have heard this. I mean, we already have, one of the trouts from it is there. So let's go for Diamond Eye really quick. We'll do Diamond Eye into Hail Finder into... Do I not have 100 Eye Axolotl? I didn't mark it off my thing. And then we'll do Sylph Spank. There we go. There we go. We'll do those three. Alright, let's see how quickly we can get done there. Lake Teori is the only reason I'm not betting on a Skyfishing Legendary out of Shaolani. I really want a Skyfishing Legendary. I think that would just be fun. I also support Ness's desire for it to be a S rank size, or record size at least. But if it's not, like, Shaolani is... It's going to be really hard to be disappointed with the fish for Shaolani. Like, really difficult. There you go. Libre Fatali. Right into... Okay, right into Dragon Song. Got it. Let's see. You're a mooch. Diamond Eye is a mooch, so I shouldn't be really missing. So one of the things I haven't figured out how I'm going to like announce all of these things yet, but one of the things that I'm going to start doing, as a formal thing, is I want to go and start with a relatively fresh character who hasn't, or at least relatively fresh to fishing, who hasn't caught, a bunch of big fish yet. And what I want to do is I want to catch all of the big fish on stream. And this is for two things. One, so people can come and do it with me. Fishing is something that is hard to do by yourself if you're not sure what to do. And it can be kind of weird. The social aspect of it makes it a whole lot better. So I want people to come and fish with me on stream. And we can just hang out and go big fishing. I'll build like little fish trains. And then we'll just go from there. The other thing is I want to have guides for a lot more fish, but I can't commit. Like, I can't be like, okay, let's do a full, like, proper recording and editing pass on Bone Melter, or like Mud Pilgrim or something, because it's just not worth it time-wise. Like, not a lot of people are going to need that guide immediately, so it's like I don't need to put in the time for it, and so it's just a pain in the butt. So what I want to do by streaming it is I will then have a recording that I can use, and then to substitute in for those types of fish, like Mud Pilgrim, which doesn't really need a guide, but it needs something to just to have it be documented. I'll be able to chop up the VOD, which will take significantly less time. So I think I know what I'll do that on. I think I'll probably start that end of the month into January, and it's not going to be a regular thing. I already have an in-depth guide on Magic Bucket. It's not going to be like a let's do this every Sunday. It might, but not initially. But it is going to be something that I'll be like, okay, we're going to work on our big fishing together. Here's the thing, and I'll try and put out like a fish train like an hour or two before we do it, and I'll give people a little bit of a heads up to say, hey, come and do this with me. I think doing it regularly would be good, but the way that my schedules work, it's really hard to commit to that right now, so that might change. But that's something that I want to do. So look forward to that, I guess. Yeah, Martin, I will absolutely coach your ass on that one. But what I want to do with it, though, is I like to stream, and I like fishing, and I like doing all these things, but in reality, I am not the best at entertaining, which I think, like, there's back in the day, this was like 5-6 years ago when I was still working like game industry stuff, I was talking to a community manager, and they said something about streamers, and that people who watch streamers usually fall into two categories. One, they're either highly skilled or they're highly entertaining. And you can probably go and just pick a streamer and be like, oh, this person I watch because they're entertaining. This person I watch because they're skilled. That's typically where they fall. I like to think I'm pretty skilled in fishing. That would make sense, but it isn't very entertaining to watch. So I am forging a third path, and I'm leaning into my skill, which is education, because I have a master's degree in education, and I know online learning, and I love video games. And so what we're going to do is these are going to be typical live streams like this, and we're just going to be, fun and casual, but I am going to be explaining what I'm doing as we go through, and then that way I'll be able to pull that out. I'll have like a 5, 10, 20-minute clip that I can pull on a fish. I can even cut it down if I have to, and I can just upload it. And then that way I can keep having these guides out for fish that aren't huge, but it's still a benefit to the community. So that's the goal coming up. I just have to decide which all-time and where. It'll probably be one of my Dino Salts. It will probably be on North America. for the most part, just because of latency. There are a few instances when I may kick it over to like Materia, but for now it's probably going to be mostly on North America as well. So TRM and Natalie, I both appreciate that, but I'm not your typical entertaining streamer, so I don't know if I would fully accept that compliment. But thank you nonetheless. Let's see. Would you consider third-party footage? I think it might be cute to show off others if they send it in. What are you imagining with that? Like, what are you thinking about that? Let's see. There was certainly a lot less info and guides available back in Realm Reborn Heavensward, so it's helpful nowadays to have a lot of more resources. Thanks. Yeah, I think that's the other reason too. I was looking at my let me see if I can find it. Yeah, I have a master spreadsheet of all of the fish. I also need to update it because I have Prime Adjudicator, Azure Diver, and Gondola Labor videos done. I have like this big spreadsheet that I'll put up here on the screen really quick. Hopefully I don't screw this up. Oh boy, that's a lot of clicking. Let's see. All right, quick little behind the scenes here. This is what I use to track guides. I actually need to update this one for Dream Gobi as well. No, I want the seahorse. Quiet, you. Where's Dream Gobi? It's 2.2 fish. Yeah, it's right there. Oh, technically I haven't put the text guide in yet. But you can see now, here's what it is. Like, here's my total coverage of things. I'm 100% up to date on Endwalker text guides. I need... Do I need 2 more for Dawntrail? Who am I missing? Yes, I do need 2 more. So I don't have 100% on those. But, like, if you go back, the numbers get much lower. Like, a Realm Reborn, I'm missing a lot. So I think having those videos will help me flesh this out, and that'll just benefit the whole community. And now you don't get to see behind the curtains anymore. Let's see, I think yeah, I think that's partially the other way too that I'm going with this, is that it can be in like an education communication, and so like that this makes sense to me to do it this way, and it makes sense to have like VOD. Effectively, what I'm doing is I'm making a highlight reel, except my highlight reel isn't for people to be like, oh, this was funny because I launched a coconut at Mario in Mario Kart, though that is funny. I watch those. It's also just beneficial as well to the community. Why did I have a physical reaction to the Ferocious White sound? I was clicking the stream. You're like the third person on this stream to say that too, Gav. Even though I've caught all the fish, I still tend to watch the guides. Yeah, that's the other thing too. I think if I set this up in this way and I should specify, this is me not replacing my current guides. If a fish, like all of the current fish that'll come out will likely get the guides as is. So basically anything that comes out, any fish that hasn't been released yet will most likely get the guide that it's getting now. So like that's not going to change. This is really for like fish like Vidofnir. and because like Vidofnir and 100i axolotl and all these other things, there's a lot of little things to your point, Mr. Mayoyama. I keep seeing your name and I keep thinking of Maya Man, the fish in Thavnir. There's a lot of like little tricks that I think would be interesting to cover in these types of videos that I don't have an opportunity to, and it's not like I'm gonna go make a fish on Vidofnir or a guide on Vidofnir, because that's not super useful, but it should be out there anyways. So that's kind of the whole thinking behind this. This is less for me and more for the community. Have I mentioned that Diamond Eye doesn't bite very often? Is it still up even? Did I miss the window? No, I still got another 12 minutes. Come on, guys. And by guys, I mean fish. Yeah, the game open, I think. That would be a fun little morning alarm. Just have it make an audio thing that just plays it over and over again. I think it would also just be really funny to. I mean, this is very much a niche joke. You know those YouTube videos where it's like 12 hours of silence broken up by like metal falling? It would just be like 12 hours of silence with random fish bites during it. That is, no one would need that, but I would laugh at it. Just gotta hope they make more fish needed for Mogtome. Yeah, well, I think it's great that they added fish to Mogtomes. I think every Mogtome has had a fish, so I don't think that's going to change. I think it would be interesting if they got out of Realm Reborn fish. I think there's some fun fish that they could do still within the free trial. Like, go catch a Damro and herring, and then I would finally make a guide on Damro and herring. Or I will laugh though the day that they do Matriarch. Like, I don't think they should, but it would be really, really funny if one of the Mogtomes was like, go catch the Matriarch. Everyone's like, oh, it's always up. How easy is it going to be? And that's when everybody learns the Matriarch secret. Wistfully think back to the ocean fishing. Yeah. When that was the Ultimog. That was fun. I think that there would be... I think that highlighted the nicheness of fishing, because it was like, get 8K, and everyone's like, I can't get 8K, this is so hard. Oh yeah, 100% chaos. But like Damro and herring would be one of those things that I would do on stream. And I would explain basically how I would see this go. Like, I would do a recording and be like, hey, we're going to go for Damro and herring. Here's what you need to know for it. And it's always up. You want to use bait bugs. You want to slap loach or cerulean. Loach or skipper. And it's slippery. You're going to get a ton of bites and they're not going to hook. Don't worry about it. And then I would fast forward through that and just do a quick time lapse to the end and go, okay, once I get the bite, I use hook and we're done. Because that's the other thing too. A lot of people who make guides, especially I've seen this for fishing, and I mean not just fishing but everything else. When you make a guide, Oh, shoot. When you're making a guide, if you are teaching somebody how to do a thing, oh man, I've gotten so lucky with these. You need to actually show that thing happening. I was watching a cosmic exploration fishing guide on, I don't know, some mission in Sinus Ardorum, and the guy was like, okay, here's what you do to get gold. I'm like, okay, this is right so far. Okay, you do this, then you do this, and then it didn't happen. And he goes, well, that's how you actually do it, and then just move on. If you are saying to somebody, I am going to teach you how to do this thing, and you are going to learn how to do it, you need to show them it working, or else you just undermine your entire learning. That's my philosophy on that, at least. Some people disagree. But if you're like, okay, we're going to go get gold on this mission, you need to get gold on that mission. You need to show that it works. That's why all of my guides I could have guides out like within 3 days for all these fish, but I have to show it happening. I have to show it. And there's a couple of times that I've kind of fudged it on like one of the Ruby Dragon guides. It was technically 3 different windows that I edited down into the single guide, but it was still the same process over and over again. So that's like one of my big pet peeves too with video game guides is like, here's how you get the achievement. It's over there. And they just like point to it and then they just walk away and like, well, how do you get there? How do you do that? And it drives me nuts. Yeah, it is very much a it's very much like you have to build trust with your learner. And I like to think that I have done enough of that to keep it. Time and die. 1.2% bite rate. But I'm looking for the bite time. 20 seconds. 20 plus 22? 23. See, when I do the splices, and if you go back and look at the Ruby Dragon, I still technically do what I say in each of those splices. Because the way I broke it up was, if I remember, it was like the first splice was, here is prep. And I like, here's how you prep. And I showed you how to prep. And then the next transition was, here's what you do in the window. And I do everything that I say and teach you in the window. And then at the end is, okay, when you get this bite at this point, this is what you do, and that happens. So technically it wasn't the same one, but I still kept that truth of, I'm telling you how to do this, and I did it. Even though it wasn't all from the same window. But I would never do a standard guide. I do some guides with like fishful thinking, and I don't do those very often anymore because I'm not I don't know, those feel a little weird. But those are also just meant to be stopgaps. I would never put out a standard guide for like a legendary fish and be like, here's what you do, and not show you the fish being caught. I won't even allow a slip. Even if it's the only fish, like if it's the only ferocious bite, I won't even allow a slip. I have to catch the fish on camera in order to make a guide for it. Which is why it sometimes takes a month for some of these fish to come out, because I just can't get the bite. I think that happened with Snowy. I think it took me like a month to get the Snowy guide out. Anyways, that's education with Rudy. Educational Instructional design? What would that fall under? Instructional design, yeah. Snowy's fun. On my first catch, Snowy was a pain. I think it took me 80 intuitions, something like that. But when I went for it on my EU thing, it bit 4 or 5 times, and I caught them all, so I can't really complain too much about Snowy on the second part. Guides, full text guide. So the full text guides in the description is another standard thing that I like. Multimodality. When you hear about you probably, if you're my age or older, you probably took one of those tests in school where it's like, are you a hands-on learner? Are you a kinesthetic learner? Are you an audiologist, like an audio learner? Are you a verbal learner? Like, learning styles like that, like, are actually a myth. They are made up. You are not a hands-on learner. You just happen to have had a lot of really good hands-on education. The thing with that, the reason I added the text-based was, one, actually Loden suggested it early on. It was like 2 or 3 guides in. He was like, why don't you just add a text-based guide to it? I'm like, that's a good idea. So I added those. But 2, I later found out that Japanese players will translate the guides. So now I just have to keep them there. And I'm trying to... This is the other thing I want to do, is get some of my key guides localized into Japanese, because Yeti-kun is on hiatus or retired or something like that. So the Japanese players don't have a guide maker for fishing, and I want to get them translated. And what I plan to do is use captions, and I'll put the captions over the English text on the guides. So if a Japanese player wants to come in, they'll have everything natively in Japanese. I just have to find translators. Let me share the macros. I need to do more with macros. Like, I have a library of macros in all the descriptions, but I think that there's a little bit more that I could be doing with macros that have like specific times, because I think that God, you caught me monologuing. I think if I start providing more macros where timing is specific, like certain fish, like technically I shouldn't be waiting this long for rock saltfish. But if it's like you need to be optimized, like you need to stop fishing at 10 seconds and then reel in and cast back out, I think I might start putting out macros specifically for those fish to start training players to be familiar and comfortable with reeling in early, because they'll have that notification. See, Snowy was fine. Furka was also a bit of a pain. I got that one pretty quick, but it was still a lot of windows. You sly dog, you got me monologuing. I was reading some tweet on, or post on Blue Sky or something about alternative ways to say, hey, I've been talking for too long. It's like, oh, you caught me rambling. Oh, you got me monologuing. You're not. Yeah. I've gotten a couple of people who were like, hey, do you want to sponsor a video for us? But they've all been like, I'm not even going to say their names. I'm not going to give them free publicity on that. But they've been like, kind of like the sketchy advert stuff. If I ever do a sponsored video, it would not be a guide. Unless it's a guide specifically for a game that is sponsoring me. Then I would do it. Oh wait, we're done. Let's go catch Judge Ray. Do I have Crowfly? Is that Wildfly Foul? Wildfowl fly. Excuse me. Cat woke me up at 4:30 this morning. I need to go buy some real quick. Hello, Judah BB. Jump there. Oh, Judah BB, I hope you can understand this. Somebody, I don't know if you know Denmo McStronghuge. He on stream visited Aquarium Apricot Branch 1 and 2 and very much enjoyed it. I will send you the timestamp if you didn't get that so you could watch that if you would like. Aquarium Apricot, both of those are absolutely gorgeous and amazing, and you are an extremely talented aquarium designer. Going over here. Alright, let's go activate. Actually, I don't even know if Judge Ray is up. Actually, hold on, I have an idea. I don't know if this is going to be the correct way of doing this, but we are going to try. Yes, this is while we are doing Judge Ray. So let me just see if this is a lure fish. Yes, I did. Okay, Ambitious Lure doesn't help us here. Picking all the boring fish tonight, aren't I? Hold on. I'm going to attempt something and I hope that this works. One second here. Yes, okay, give me 1 second. It says good morning, hello. Nope, that's not the language I want. I merely copied and pasted it into Google Translate. I don't know Japanese. It's been on my list of like, I'm going to learn a new skill, and it's either been French, Japanese, or German, and I've tried a little bit of all of them, and for some odd reason, I still remember Spanish. That's the best I can do right now. I know just enough Spanish to get me out of trouble and get into it. Hold on, I'm going to attempt this, and I hope that this works for you, Judo. Okay, I hope this works. Hold on. This is the best I can do right now. Please forgive me.
友人がアプリコット水族館に行ってとても楽しんでいました。あなたは才能のあるデザイナーですね。水族館は本当に素晴らしかったです。
I hope that worked. I hope everyone was able to hear that too. I feel like I could learn a foreign language right now if I had the time to. I think I have a need to. Like, I think that there's, if I learned like certain languages, like Japanese, it would be great. Like, I think it would be, I could do it. I just don't have time. Like, that's what it comes down to. I just don't have time. And I'm not going to use Duolingo because that's not going to teach me anything. So, because Zin, you just cleared T. What are you going to do now? I'm going to go to Disneyland. Drink more water. My feet are cramping up. When's the next distance work? Okay, I was about to say, when is the next one? And the answer is tomorrow. Where is the one that's coming up? Because I know there's one in Toronto in January. Saturday in Dallas, okay. And Square Enix did just announce like a bunch of like Square Enix music concerts that isn't Distant Worlds, but it's still done by the Roths. And none of them are coming to my neck of the woods, sadly. Oh no. Hello, Zerth. Yeah, Duolingo is a bit of a trap. You are welcome, Zerth. Nice. I think when my friend and I went, it was for the Distant Worlds in New York, the week before Dawn Trail launch. and it had Soken and Koji there, which was a ton of fun. And they played... It wasn't just Final Fantasy XIV music, but I think it was focusing on 14, because they played like Songs of Salt and Suffering, my favorite. But they also played Final Fantasy 16 music. And I was joking, because we were at the matinee, like, oh, I bet you Ben Starr should be here. And he wasn't. Because there's a point at which I was like, oh, this is when Ben Starr would appear, if he was here. And he didn't show up for the matinee. But he was at the one at night. He was at the evening show. And my friend and I were just like, well, if we weren't old men, we would totally have, we totally would have been able to see Ben Starr. I've only been to one Distant Worlds. I'd like to go to another, because it is just good music. I think that's the end of Judge Ray. We are no, we got a minute left. It's 21. We are just kind of striking out fish tonight, though. We have not caught a single fish. Hold on. Let me see here. Did I finally catch Darkstar? I keep saying I'm going to catch it on stream, and I never do. But I forget if I did. Nope. We can go maybe do Darkstar. No, wait. No, we can't, because I don't have Chocobo Fly. That's a problem. Darkstar is a fun fish. I should go for Darkstar, because I want to explain why it's a fun fish. So I'm actually just going to cut out early here, and we're going to go, okay, Chocobo. No, it's a Snuggle Fly, I think. I think there needs to be more fish like Darkstar, and I think Darkstar is a good example of the type of fish I want to see in Dawntrail. We have to honor the Lalafell wall. Make sure I get the right one here. It's Snurble? Chocobo Fly. Oh, you can be bought. Sweet. And then I need Butterworm. Can you still find him from these guys? One sec. My wife just walked up to me and just started staring at me. And I'm like, oh, what did you do? What's going on? Like, what have you done? And she's just staring. She's not saying anything. And what I can't see, or at least what I wasn't looking at, was behind her, our large TV, where my stream is up. She has just been sitting there with my stream up as I'm streaming in the same room, it up on our big TV. I have to say, it looks pretty good. Do you want to say hi to chat? No, she does not want to say hi to chat. Everyone say hi to Mrs. Snacks. She's been feeling bad. She got sick on our trip home. Went to the wrong place. Wrong Corthus. We were driving home from her family's on Saturday, and she got sick, and we got waylaid in Western Pennsylvania for a little while longer than we wanted, while she started feeling a little better, and then we were able to come home. But she's feeling better now. They say, hi, Mrs. Snacks. Hi, your husband is cool. Hi, Mrs. Snacks. She's waving quietly. Alright, we're gonna try and squeeze in some Dark Star here. It's 6 minutes, that should be enough. Yeah, everyone is saying hi and hope you're feeling better and getting rest soon. Okay, so Dark Star is interesting because it is mooched off of one fish and it is its intuition is triggered by another, which is so much fun. And this is what I want to see Dawntrail do more, because it's a 3-minute intuition and it's like a long window, so it's not super duper tough in that sense, but you need to get 5 Lamp Marimo, which I'm just going to identical cast here because I think that'll be fine. You need 5 Lamp Marimo to catch to get the intuition, and then you have to mooch Abelathian Smelt into Darkstar. That requires ideally 2 different bait. It requires, if with Spareful Hand, imagine that Abelathian Smelt being like a rare big fish that bites relatively commonly that you would have to then mooch and is up during that window. That's what I want to see. I want to see like Lystracanthus with an intuition, and you have to prep 2 fish for another intuition, and then in the third just to mooch. Like, that would be so much fun to me. I don't even know if I explained that well. We actually had soup for dinner. I made some soup before stream. Okay, so we're on Honeyworm, but we need a 1 by not a 2. I bet you I could actually even use Modestar for this one. Yeah, I can. That's exciting. Because it's either going to be Lamp Marimo or Abelathian Smelt on Honeyworm with Modestar. Which is the other weird thing. Darkstar is a good fish that no one like sees because you don't need to see it. Just fun fish. This though, Darkstar but harder, is what I want to see for legendary fish. That's what I want to see in the dark, or the back, not the dark half. The dark half of Dawntrail. The back half of Dawntrail. Oh, sweet. Have a good evening, Mr. Mayo Yama. Thank you for joining us. Easy. Of course, the one that I'm like, oh, I haven't caught it yet. Yeah, I catch it in one time, in one shot. Charon's Lantern's not stream safe right now. Hold on. Oh wait, no, that's 3 minutes to close. We're not going to do Lancet Fish. We're not doing Metamodify. We're not. Oh man, we just missed all the fun ones. Ooh. Blue Corpse is up. That's like in this zone. I think I have Caddis Fly on me. If not, I'll just go hop out to the store really quick and grab some. Is Hailfinder up? Because we were totally going to go do Hailfinder now. We have to go to the literally other side of the map here. You were able to get the Ghost Carps in the because Ghost Carp is just a larger tricolored carp, and those are in the indoor ponds you use, no? Oh, that is interesting. Yeah, I want to look into the definitions that the Japanese fish have, because I know that they're different between the different languages, and I only know the English ones. Because we have the English ones have a lot of fun little silly things. Oh, I already have blue corpse. Darn. What else do we got coming up then? Do we have Frilly? Do we have ads coming up? We do. I'll explain that after. I explained what stream safe was last time, but it isn't about spoilers. Crystal Perch. Soul of the Martyr's up in 12. I'm gonna try and remember to go for Soul of the Martyr. Oh. Ignis Horn. That one for sure. Have I done Ignis Horn? Nope. Cool. Well, let's go do Ignis Horn. Assuming I have Glowworm on me, because it is a pretty common bait, yeah. We are going fishing in the tangle. This is one of those fishing holes that I have almost, on multiple occasions, almost made a here's how you get to guide, because we get a question about where the deep tangle is at least maybe once every 2 months. And maybe we'll even, also before I forget, maybe we'll even go do the 9 o'clock ocean fishing run on the main. Alright, so Ignis Horn is one of the maybe third of all big fish. That is a precision hookset fish. And it is actually one of the ones where it's kind of borderline, but Modest Lure is probably helpful. And it's up now. That's one of the things that I think, Chaos, you were joking about earlier before we sidetracked for the 20th time. When people would go for Matriarch and they would use our hook set. A lot of people have this misconception that because it's a strong or a ferocious bite, which is the 3 exclamation points. Remember that, because I think that's one of the quizzes on my YouTube channel coming up. They assume that it's going to be powerful, but that's not the case. I should also look at Discord because people have been messaging me. Ignis Horn is also one of those fish where you will either get it very quick or you will spend days on it. One of the other things that I want to do, so there's a whole bunch of stuff that I want to do in 2026 that I haven't figured out how I'm going to announce it yet, because I kind of want to do here's what I want to do in 2026, please hold me to it. Oh, whoops, there's the bug. Except I did it with Modest Lure this time, that's fun. one of the other things that I want to do in 2026 is fish trains that are very similar to the. I recently posted like the "You Mean to Tell Me That's a Real Fish" panel that I did at Gateway. I want to do one of those, but as a fish train. And so what I want to put together is a stream / presentation like fish train event where we'll spend maybe 3 hours. I'll have a slightly slower fish train, and it's going to be talking about like fish of North America or fish of Japan or fish of the Yucatan or like fish of the cenotes or stuff like that. And what I want to do is I want to kind of mix like okay, let's go catch these fish. Here's the bait we're using. Here's the environment we're in. Let's go look at its real life equivalent and look at the comparisons and learn. And so everyone can have some fun while they're fishing, and while they're waiting for the fish to bite, they can also learn about, biology. Those will probably not be super common. I'm going to aim to do at least 2 next year. And I think I know what 2 it'll be, but I'm aiming for 2. So I'll have more info on those coming up. Did the water just... Did that animation just reset? Did I see that skip? Yeah, this river totally isn't a smooth animation. It just skipped. This texture isn't a perfect loop. Either that or I'm going crazy. Something is skipping. There's some texture is just jumping. Yeah. I wonder if they have like a subsurface texture. I don't mean like a subsurface scattering texture, but like there's like it's a double layer. Because I think yeah, this is like watch this blurb. Yeah, something skips. Oh, I did not mean to do that. Oops. I'm being enthralled by the river. See, this is the thing that like you can report a bug to. It would never get fixed because I don't think anyone's going to be staring at this river for more than, a few hours total in their entire lifetime of playing the game. And that's assuming they fish. See, now that I've seen it, I can't unsee it. Like, every time it skips, my brain just stops working. Also, non-binary Nyan. You were talking about stream safe. I explained this last. When I say stream safe for fishing, I typically mean a fish that is fun to watch. It isn't really like, I don't want to do a live, like I don't want to stream going for Stephacanthus where I have to wait an hour. Like that's not fun to watch. So like something that is, thank you. So something that's like going to take a lot of waiting around would be something that I wouldn't consider stream safe. I'm just stealing a term from GDQ. Hi, Bruni. Bruni, how is your monster fishing derby going there? Catching what, Dream Goby 17 times or something? I will have you know that I've only caught Dream Goby once. I should probably do it on this character at some point. Actually, I lied. I caught it 3 times because I had to catch it twice for the guide. I think I have 3 for sure that I would probably get it on that don't already have it. Because I have, let's see, Warm Water Trout is already Final Fish, so they already have it. Fruity Snacks on EU already has it. That is pretty crazy. I was expecting it to be a quicker bite when I did my guide. I think if you look, the actual time was like 5 minutes to get a bite for Dream Goby. Ooh, versatile lure for Dream Goby. How would that go? Yeah, a lot of fish seem to have been doing that for a lot of folks, where it's just you get it in one or you don't get it at all. Like this guy. My Ignis Horn catches have gone 2 ways. Either I get it within like a window or it takes me 5. Ooh. Oh. There was something I wanted to do before we do that. Opinions here. Alright, so Taniwa Squid. I think we have enough time. We can do the next one, but the next ocean fishing boat, it'll be the last thing I do for the stream, but we can definitely do the next ocean fishing boat. I'm going to stop going for this guy, though, because I want to go and do something a little different. I'm going to go look at Glams really quick, because we do now have the unlocked Glams coming up. Somebody sent over Somebody sent a picture of one of the botanist tops, and I want to quickly go look at that with my current gear. So we're just gonna go back to the main ahead of ocean fishing. Press the right buttons here. Because I posted about this on Blue Sky the other day. I am okay. Like, I don't mind the glam unlocks. I also completely nailed the rationale for it. I was talking to some people about why they probably were doing the glam unlocks all of a sudden. I was like, it's totally because they want to cut down on modding. And Yoshi P today, or yesterday, in an interview was like, we wanted to cut down on modding. And that's why we did this. And I'm like, hell yeah. But one of the things that bugs me is using glams that have tools for not your job. So it's like, it really bugs me that I think it's like the samurai artifact gear has a gun. That just seems a little weird to me, though I think historically that might be accurate. But I was told that the botanist, I think it's the Thavnair botanist, or the Endwalker botanist artifact gear would be really good. Because it was field soft, I think. I assumed it was accurate, but it's... I think the concern I made, and I'll see if I can display this here in a minute, is... Like, the example I did was the miner. I think the miner top, like one of these miner tops, is really good. But... Hold on. There we go. Helps if I actually go back to where I was. Let's see. Is it this one? Yeah, so like, for example, this isn't a top that I would use, but it looks kind of fishy. But I don't need like an ice pick for fishing. I don't need some of these things. Although actually this is probably better than the one that I was looking at. But like, I don't need like this type of shovel, like, or nails or anything. Like, I don't need that as a fisher. So that's just weird for me to have. But was it the field rise or field soft? I am totally losing my mind. Which one was tackle soft? Was that Endwalker? That was Endwalker. I'm looking at level 100. That's why I'm so confused. Endwalker was level 90. Yeah, okay, so this is what I was looking at. Like, this shirt is an amazing fly fishing shirt. This would be something that I would see in a catalog for like Orvis or LL Bean. This type of shirt. However, Rockhammer, the rocks I can hand wave. But like, it just seems really weird for me to be fishing with a hammer. So I don't know if I'll end up using this one. But I was told the field soft was pretty good. Was it field soft or field rise? Hold on, let me look it up. I now have to look. Let's see. Field keeps. Which level was that? Though this one does actually look pretty good. Because, like, these I can kind of hand wave as fisher stuff. The flowers are weird. Let's see, field keep. Which one was... One of the red and yellow girls from... Those are not red and yellow girls. They're the characters from Cowboy Bebop. I can't remember her name right now, but it was the character from Cowboy Bebop. Field rise. I need to remember what it is. Which one is it? Field keep, that's it. No, that's not it. Hold on. Mill rise. That's it. That's what I'm looking for, which is crafter. Okay, I misread what they were saying. There. That looks like a fisher gear. Like this right here, I could 100% see myself using. No. Nyan, it's perfectly fine. There's a bunch of people who I made that post and I was like, I can't use hammers. And then everyone was like, no, you can totally use hammers. Here's the reasons why. And they gave me enough reasons that I was like, okay, maybe I'll do hammers. But like, this is a fishing shirt. This is great. This I might even use. It even comes in the colors that I want to begin with. As a dye. Actually, no, we're going to go with a lighter jacket. And then the backing, I'm assuming, yeah. Like this shirt right here. I own this shirt. It is literally in the laundry right now. I own this shirt. I just got it from Eddie Bauer. I love it. So this I might... Like, this looks nice. Like, I could see myself using this. What about these chest straps? I know these are going to get a ton of mileage. Ton of people have already said, like, I am using the Forge Rise chest strap. And, like, the Gem Rise one, like, this doesn't even, like... This would be a great, like, just royal outfit. Oh, yeah, they did move. But, yeah, no, they're the character from Cowboy Bebop. They're not the red and yellow girls. They are Cowboy Bebop. I have to remember the name of her character. Faye Valentine. They're Faye Valentine cosplayers. Gem Rise pantaloons. It wouldn't actually work. I know this one is really good too. This one I would use on probably all my crafters because I really like the apron. And then you have like your fancy vest. Like I think unlocking is going to be great, but it's just going to drive me nuts when it's like I have a hammer, but I'm fishing. It's like this is clearly made for mining. And it's going to drive me nuts. So, I'll have to figure that out. I'll probably start messing around with those here in a bit and join in with everybody else in trying to figure out what they're going to do, like from day one. What was the other mill? Because I think a lot of the leather worker stuff is just going to be really nice. See, that would be like a cool little thing as well. Oh, I should probably get rid of the pantaloons. This one I use for carpentry. This is the other one that I'll definitely use on probably all my crafters. It's just a carpenter one. Because it's a really just nice work jacket. And then I don't think milking... Oh, that's dangerous to say. This one I really like. I use this one. Anyways, let's go get in queue for ocean fishing before we go down that rabbit hole, because we're going to be probably waiting until 15. I gotta use my own emoji every so often. Actually, what's the indigo route? Ooh, it's sharks and manta. Sure, let's do that one instead. We'll probably have to still get a late one, but that's fine. Set. Hold on. I did not expect to see a Teodo in here. Hi Teodo, if you're watching. And thank you, Natalie, for the reset. If Teodo's going Ruby, maybe, hold on. We're gonna wait and see where Teodo's going. I need to know if I have to if he wants me to avoid him or not, because I know he does this thing. No. Alright, so while we wait, let's see there was something else I was going to talk about today. I talked about the Fishing With Me streams. Oh, hi, Zin. Just realized you're standing next to me, too. You know what? Because everyone's here, I'm going the Ruby route. I'm going to commit to what I said I was going to do earlier. Some mackerels. What was the other thing? There was something else I was going to mention. Because I did... See, I talked about the streams. I talked about the fishing. Oh, right. So I hit 10,000 subscribers. Oh, I guess he went on Indigo. Oh, he's going to bed. I hit 10K subs on YouTube. Thank you, everyone. I don't know, a few weeks ago, a month ago. And I said I would do something special when that came up. And I mentioned that I was going to do that charity stream. So probably in the next... I don't think it'll be in December. It might be in late January, because I don't want to overlap with Frosty's charity event at the beginning for World Race. And then Fish Fest is at the end of February. By the way, I haven't mentioned that yet. Fish Fest is back. It's at the end of February. We just haven't announced it yet. So sometime probably in the next 3 or 4 months, I'm going to host a charity event. But what I want to do for it is and I may actually do this sooner first, but I want to do a fish train that is going to be broken up into like 3 parts. And in the first part, everyone will be like, okay, this is what you're doing. This is the fish we're doing. That second part, though, is going to be, there's going to be branches. So in that first, depending on what happens in that first branch, like however many fish were caught, you might go on branch A in the second part or branch B. And then depending on what happens in that second branch, you might do one or the other of another route. So we're trying to find a way to kind of spice up fish trains a little bit by making things fancy. What I'll also be doing though for that charity event is we'll do that fish train. I'm thinking this will probably be like a 12-hour charity event throughout the day. That'll be one part of it. What I need from everybody is your favorite games that have fishing in it, that are primarily fish themed or are primarily about fishing. So like Cast and Chill, Dave the Diver, or some of the other games on my list. Those types of games. Those, I want to know what those games are, and you can either tell me now or like send them to me like on Discord or something. Because I want to play those on stream. Yeah, so like I have Stardew Valley, Cast and Chill, Dave the Diver, Fish and Ships, maybe? Dredge, Intergalactic Fishing, this weird game called Ecosystem, which I haven't played yet. I haven't seen a lot of, but it looks like the early parts of Spore, but specifically for fish. It looks just fun and dumb. What else do I have here? Web fishing. Final Fantasy 14. There was a specific Minecraft mod that was specifically for fishing that I might do something with. No Man's Sky. Like, just to give you an example, I'm not going to necessarily play all those, but I do want to play something besides Final Fantasy 14 for this charity event. So if you have recommendations on that, please let me know. I think there's like a co-op horror game, so I might try and drag some friends in to play that. But let me add web fishing. As part of the... Because I wanted to basically do like an indie lineup of just fishing game. So I'll probably pick up Cast and Chill on when it's on sale. It's on sale now, actually, I think. Because Martin mentioned it to me the other day. Was my wish list is like just a ton of fishing games. The top 5 games on my fishing list are on my wish list: Cast and Chill, Dave the Diver, Harvestella, because it has fishing, and I kind of like the premise of Harvestella, except it's expensive as hell. $60 now? Harvestella was not $60. Sea Fantasy, and then Team Crafter. Was because Cast and Chill was listed as like pseudo AFK, but when I played the demo, it wasn't. Like it isn't. You can be active if you want it to be, right? Toggleable. Okay. Let's go quickly to SteamDB because I swear Harvestella was not $60. History. Let's see. No, current price was $60. Okay, apparently it was. Okay, cool. So I'll throw that onto my. I'll make that purchase really quick at some point before it leaves the sale. But the winter sale is coming up, so I may just get it then as well, because it did just have a winter update, and Cast and Chill looks fun as heck, and it's the art style that I love. Oh, whoa, hold on. Martin, I don't know if you're still watching, but I'm about to send you something. Apparently, Cast and Chill also has a upcoming Eastern Winds DLC. Explore strings of tranquil fishing spots inspired by storied lands where cherry blossoms drift on the breeze, bamboo groves rustle by quiet shores, and ancient shrines overlook misty coves teeming with mysterious fish you've never seen before. That's fun. That's coming out in June. I just saw that. Okay, so I will add Cast and Chill to the Please playlist. Even if we don't do it on... I don't know if I'll do it like a live look on... like our first live look at the charity stream. I may still stream Cast and Chill sometime, over the next month or so. Alright, we have 2 minutes until this window pops. I'm going to go refill my water bottle really quick. So I'll be right back. The nice thing about having a small apartment is my kitchen is about, I don't know, 15 feet behind me. Is this Iroha? Is that what I'm hearing? Eat my food. Yeah, it's Iroha. I heard this briefly when I was playing Final Fantasy XI, and I had to do a double take to make sure that I was actually playing the right game for a second, because I didn't see what was happening on screen. Oh, I meant to pause the ads too. Oops. Emma's going to get you to play Final Fantasy XI. She's very good at doing that. Again, if I had time, I would probably also be playing War 11. I've also been playing a bunch of Guild Wars 1 today. Like right after work, I popped on. I was having... Guild Wars 1 is a game that I've probably played... I don't know, I've had an active account on Guild Wars 1 since like 2007 or something like that, so seeing it kind of get a resurgence makes me feel extremely old. But it's also really cool and a good opportunity to catch up and see what's going on and like what are the builds that everyone's using, because it's an MMO, but a lot of people think that Guild Wars 1 was made to compete against World of Warcraft at the time. That is wrong. It was actually made to compete against Diablo. Or at the time, Diablo 2. So it's very build based. It's not like you have a skill and then you're just given your skills and you have to execute those skills. Well, like in 14, it's you build a build and you decide what you want to do. And it has some of the dumbest looking builds that I have ever seen. Like this one this morning, I think I mentioned it on Blue Sky. I was looking up like one of the more modern builds requires your character to be drunk so you don't fall over to enable like, a dwarven racial skill or something like that. There's a couple of them that have been around for like 2 decades because I used them back in high school, where you intentionally lower your health to specifically, I think the common one is 55. So you go from 500 health down to 55 health. And then you have a skill that says that you can take no more than 10% of your max health as damage, which means you take 5 damage whenever you're hit. And then you just pump regen into your character. And so nothing can kill you because it can only do 5 damage. Or 5.5 damage, I guess. Only do 5 damage, and you gain, 20 of it back per hit or something like that. It is It has some of the most interesting build concepts I've seen. Alright, what are we going for? Excuse me. Alright, we need shrimp or squid. That won't be too hard to pick up. The ferocious bite might be a little tricky. So, if I stay on plump, we'll go for the spec. If we get into the spec, I stay on plump again. Unless I could go for sunken silicamp and try for Taniwa. I don't know. I could try for Taniwa. I have to get the intuition first, though. Actually, I have to get the spectral first, and then intuition. Alright, 130 actually is the int end for this. Or time end. 138. Once again, we're going to be only looking for the strong bites because that's going to be our broadheads, so those will be our squids. I want to burn those down. And then I'm just going to focus... I don't know if this is right. I'm trying to interpret Kyoto's guides by just experimentation. And he mentioned using prize catch and then just only going for the mermaid, or not mermaid scales, the broadheads, and or just squids in general. So I don't know if this is the best. I try not to spend too much time doing it. But if I get sunken seal at one more time, I'll just triple hook it and go for the... We'll just go for Taniwa. Long bite. Aww. Impostopus! Is that Impostopus? No, it's an mermaid scale, okay. Not the best start. What's my current record on... My current personal best on Taniwa Squid? 15,836. Okay, so we just have to be... if we can get to 1,600, we have a new PB. So, we'll see what happens. Now I'm going to hold on to my Thalix favor because I will gain GP during the cutscene. I'll be able to use my cordial before the end of the zone, before we leave. So I don't want to use my Angler's Art stacks just randomly like this and potentially cap my GP because of it. I'm gonna probably cancel Unless I get a weak bite. Okay. Ooh, this is gonna be tight. I should be able to use the cordial though. Yeah. That was risky. Because I want to use the cordial before the cutscene, because then it'll continue to cool, like the cooldown will keep going while I'm in the cutscene. Thank you, Bruni. We'll see what the count is. I think I'm over 17k now. I haven't gone around and just bought out worlds recently. Maybe I'll do that soon. So if you want like a free 10k gil, go list your Moras for no less, or for no more than 5k, and it's like a guaranteed buy. Typing out suck as people are asking questions. Is this Amanda? It is. Just so I usually don't mooch, but because I still need a few more ferocious bites and I can get that off of the mooch, and I was pretty close to capping my GP, I decided to. Lakshmi is a good theme. Stormblood is an underrated expansion, in my opinion. Actually, I would go so far to say that Stormblood was the Dawn Trail before Dawn Trail. I personally think that a lot of the argument we're hearing about Dawn Trail was like, all of us old players are just like, guys, we've already been through this. It's just Stormblood again. It's fine. Don't panic. Nope. Ignoring you. I'm going to plump you. This is actually really good. Okay. So I'm going to go for Sword Tip Squid, which is a longer 2-bite. Don't think that was a 2-bite. I think that was a late Koban, so I'm not going to risk it. I really should have a 1-2-3 early counter macro. That's a Whirlpool. I don't like waiting too long for this. That's a Koban. But it's like you're waiting for like a 1600 point drop, which is pretty good. So I'm still trying to figure that out myself on this one, deciding what I want to do. No, this is bad. Okay, I actually have to start fishing because I'm trying to go for points, so I want to go for the higher point fish. But if I'm not getting the bites, I shouldn't be waiting, and I probably waited too long there. So we'll take what we can get now. If we get a Shotsutsukan, I'll just go for the triple hook, and that will end the voyage mission for Ferocious Bites. Oh, there you are. Hell yeah, double. Right at the end, which kind of sucks, but we did get the 1600 point drop. I don't think this will break a record unless I have a really, really good Spectral in the Ruby Sea. Which I could, because flying squid, but that's gonna be rough. Oh. Okay, so this just went out on the Final Fantasy XIV Twitter. The live letter is not at 4 a.m. Pacific time tomorrow. It is at 3 a.m. Pacific time tomorrow. So it's an hour earlier than what they have posted on the tweet. The Lodestone blog is correct. So if you were planning to be up early for the live letter, like me, then you need to be up an hour earlier. If I got a Violet Sentry Bite, I would double hook that, finish all my missions, and I would still be able to pop a Corridor right beforehand, which I probably wouldn't need, because I would probably be able to regen the 400 pretty quick. But that requires getting a Violet Sentry. And they stop biting right then. So. I'm capped out, that's fine. I think what I'll do is this. This will put me down 600, but I think that should be okay. Oh, and getting a Violet Sentry would be bad. Alright, so we have to rely... Oh wait, no, Violet Sentry aren't even in... I was looking at the Ruby Sea. Violet Sentry are next zone, so that's what I need to do next zone. Okay, so I definitely... If I want to break my record for points, I definitely need a Spectral to make it easy. If I want to break 20k points, I think I absolutely need the Spectral. And I have to just absolutely kill it with Flying Squid in the Spectral. And I need to somehow get, naturally, 2 more Ferocious Bites. I should check and see if my friend wants to do our... Sorry for the bottle squeezing. Should see if my friend wants to do our usual snark fest that we do during these. Whoop! That wasn't supposed to go off. Oh well. My water bottle lid has gotten squeaky. I feel bad for people who are like, oh yeah, I can get up at set before 7. I cannot get up before 6. That'll be fun. I think once I hit 20k on all of the ruby roots, I'm gonna go back to Indigo and start tracking those. I'm not gonna do it. I don't know. I haven't been like super duper focused on this. I'm like not like trying to get them all the time. But my high cordial stock was getting low, so I decided to start ocean fishing. I figure why not just try and set some personal bests while I'm at it. The tweet announcing the date change says, "We suggest going and feeding your island sanctuary animals till then. Check on your granary and all that winky face." They implied that they would want to do an island sanctuary update if people liked it. Like, they said they would potentially continue it. So if they actually... if they're, like, trying to be like, hey, just kill time, that's a funny way of doing it. The Nor of Nor, thank you for the follow. Cool. Oh, we have dolphins, so that's gonna be good. It's giving Neopets tweeting about how your forgotten pet have been starving for years. Joke's on them, I never did Neopets. Right. Here's our chance for greatness. We have increased regen on GP. That's too quick. Though it still would have been a squid, I think. We need the longer. Yeah, we need those. One triple hook. Ah, ah, ah. Yes, we can do the cordial there. Making me wait. The thing, maybe I'll talk to TLH about this later, is because to me, it feels like you want to balance going for those high point fish specifics. Ooh, oh wait, Crimson Sentry, that's what I'm good to get. I do need to finish that. Whoops. Oh crap. Got those, that's good. And then I can do this, that, this. And then we hope we end up getting another Crimson Sentry, because I forgot. I was so focused on this tweet. Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like there's a balance that needs to be struck. And I don't think I hit that balance correctly. Alright, Crimson Sentry, save us. Okay, we didn't finish all the missions. That's my fault for not thinking through that correctly. But 8-5 with 2, that might be just enough to break over. I don't know. That one's weird. That might be a new record, I don't know. Thank you for joining me today. Oh, we get the trailer tomorrow, too. I always forget those are happening. No. Yes. Okay, we just scraped by with a new PB because the old one was 15,836 and the new one is 16,224. So I have successfully gotten 16,000 points on every stop or on every voyage route, which means I technically have gotten the achievement for all of those, which is cool. If I had finished the voyage mission, that would have been 100%, which would have put me at 17,080-ish. Oh well. Ooh, 19. Hold on, Brian. I have to spam sell. I have to throw fish at this lady. You're using the all thanks wake alt. Alright, let's quickly go buy Marlboro's stock of Mamora Mora. Ooh, he gets to battle Ultima. The ultimate weapon. Born to Fish. Forced to save Aorizia. Thank you for the one person who listed it for 10 gil. So here's the secret. When I buy Mamora Mora, I usually base the maximum price I'll buy it on based on however much gil I have in my inventory at the time. So I'll buy these, but realistically, I usually, if you post a Mamora Mora for 5k or less, I will buy it. It's not until we do, like, I get like a bunch of money together and I just hit every single server, that's when I will, that's when I'll buy more of them, is when I can get some actual funds. Thank you. Alright, let's see how many in total we have. Oh yeah, cool, we did break 17,000. So we're at 17,210? Got that right? Yeah, 17,210. So that's the second highest amount of Mamora Mora. I should just store my other stack in here. My retainers are a mess. I don't need half this stuff. I just keep it here because I do for some reason. I think a lot of this came from my old FC from like 6 years ago that I think only one person plays around with. and they're in another FC, so I don't even need to keep it. Why do I have a Hermetic Tombstone? What? But yeah, I keep all my raid books because they just make a really nice like pattern until you hit these, and then they don't, and it's just really annoying. I needed to get I needed one right after Iconoclasm, whatever that one was. My retainers are a chaotic mess of everything's there that I want. Like, these are all like, I don't need hive totems, I don't need demon totems, but I don't not need, like, I don't have to get rid of them right now. These are all just orchestrion rolls that I just haven't crafted yet. Diamond Dust just because I like the Shiva weapons. Bunch of relics and armor of skins that I like, and I don't know why I have them anymore. There's that one. That was Rhubarb. Scallop. Oh, I need to actually do the retainer series. Go back to Rhubarb in a minute. You're just materia. And dyes. And occasional stuff. Like, I need to condense some of these things down. Like, I think these are on Rhubarb. 578 yellow Pipra. Don't ask. And then the one that everyone... The most important retainer, who inadvertently has 69, 69, 369 gil on them. I did not plan that. It just ended up that way. My fish. Okay, I don't have any duplicates here. So you can see all the fish that I have that I decide to keep. A lot of them I don't need. Like, I probably don't need 1,000 fin. I caught 15 Shonisaurus, I think it took, to get a max size. Shoni. I have 100 Meteor Survivors because I did that right before Dawn Trail. Where's I have some weird there we go. 18 sea butterflies, 4 aquamatons, and I've given away at least 3. 4 Aelid Scons, 3 ruby dragons, 2 Stethocanthi, and then my personal favorite, 26 Drepanapses. You can hold on to the high qualities mainly because they're a pain to give away. You can't trade them anymore. They should be non-tradable. I think they're not. I don't think you can trade them. Maybe you can. And I'm thinking of Fabled over here. Like, I don't need slip snails. I don't know why I kept them. I'm just waiting for them to become an aquarium fish. Okay, you can. Cool. 3 Sidereal whales, 2 Takatoas, 2 Durdina fish. I think 5. Some of these are high because they're record sizes. So like Chlorophos Deathworm is a record size for Aether Chemical Pools. Let's see. Oh yeah, so I have the 26 Drepanapsis and I kept all the Bond Splitters, so I have 65 of those. My 18 Sea Butterflies from testing. 8 Disaperuku, most of those were brought up during the testing lures. Anyways, that's my fish collection, plus whatever's over here. A lot of these I don't need. Like, I probably don't need to keep Salter. Excuse me. I don't need to keep Slime King. Don't need Fairy Queens. I just have them. So, as I need to make space for fish, I usually pull out the ones that I don't want. All the high qualities I'll keep. If I get rid of the Salters, I give them to Salty. Like, I'm not going to destroy them. I'm insane. I'm not a heathen. So. But that's the Fruity Snacks fish collection. At least that's what we have for my own personal collection. Probably don't need... I'm waiting for Cabin Keep Permit to become an aquarium fish. I'm expecting that. Harlequin Queen I kind of expect. Sprouting Perch I kind of expect. I don't know what the flagship's going to be. I kind of hope it isn't another Fabled Legend, because those are a pain to get for the aquarium. But yeah, I take that back. I will accept Jewel of the Plum Spring, because that's a medium, and having like a tank where I could put 3 turtles floating around would be great. But let me go grab my oh, I didn't even get the retainer. You caught me monologuing again, you sly dog. Game. There we go. I think I got two Quetzals within like 2 weeks. And that was it. That's all I've gotten so far. So. Alright, everybody. That is it. It's been over 3 hours. A little bit longer than I was expecting. My name is Fruity Snacks. You can find me on these places that I hope are showing up now. Hello? Where's my YouTube? There it is. You can find me on all these places. YouTube. That's my main place. Blue Sky, Twitter. You can all happily just click on those if you're on Twitch at least by going there. I hope I've had a rough few weeks on streaming. I hope to get a little bit more regular back on the get a little bit more back on that more weekly schedule. But for those of you who are on Twitch, stick around. We're going to go raid into somebody. For those of you who are on YouTube, thanks for watching. I hope you have a great evening and have a wonderful weekend. And hope the live letter is fun tomorrow.